Alright guys, so welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be looking at boot forcing, and we're going to try and boot force into a application, into a Node.js API application. And I'm going to search online for for free Node.js API. I'm going to look for loopholes in the code, right? So I'm going to look at this first one here. You can see, just type this on your Google. I'm sure it's going to give you these results. So click on this first project right here. So why are we doing boot force? That's a question we need to ask ourselves, right? Because, why would an attacker use boot force, right? The attacker can use boot force because of what? Account admin access, reuse of passwords, weak passwords are common, and build a botnet. And we're going to be doing our boot force with a Python code, meaning we're going to try and break into the Node.js API application, right? So as you can see, this is a Node.js application that every developer uses, right? So you can see it has GWC token, profile management, protected routes and middleware, MongoDB integration. I have my MongoDB ready already. Input validation, that's very good. So I'm going to try and see the loophole I can find in this user authentication right here. So I'm going to copy this cloning stuff here. I already have this here up here. Let me clear. So I'll open this folder. I have a folder called check API, a folder. Then I'm going to open it in VS Code. I'm going to clone this project right here. So clone like that. So while it is cloning, okay, it has clone finished. Very good. I'll go straight to my VS Code. I'll go straight to my VS Code. I'll open git bash in two places. Good. All right. So let me cd into this. So I'll cd into Node.js user login dash register voila. Okay, good. Register voila plate dash restful dash API. All right, so I'll copy here. I'll come and paste this here too. Okay, I'm good to go. So what's the next thing to do right now? The next thing to do is to actually run the npm install. So that's the next thing to do. So I'm going to come and run my npm install. So while my npm is still installing, right, I'm going to go straight to the env because it's actually a very, very important file, and I'm going to put in my own MongoDB connection. So I have my own MongoDB connection right here. So I'll copy it and I'll come and place it here. I'll place it there. Now I have my password already. So I have my password down here already. I have it here. So I'll copy my password and I'll place it here. So let me just take away this guy. So my env is now very well set up. So I'm going to leave the port to port 5000. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go straight to the controllers and see. I'll go to the controllers and I'll go straight to the routes. And I've found a loophole already. The loophole is there's no rate limiting in this code. There's no rate limiter in this code at all. It actually means that an attacker could write a certain script and try and find its way into this API, and that can actually cause a lot of damage, right? So when you're building a Node.js application, like for production use, make sure you always add rate limiter in your code base, right? There are also other kind of attacks you can do on web application backend and all like that. Well, we're going to take it bit by bit. So while my npm install is still running, I'm going to create a folder called Python so I can actually run that boot force. I'll call it Python. And I'm going to call the file boot force -py. So this is my Python file. Yes. And let me open up my another terminal like this. I'm going to cd into my Python. Is that the spelling of Python? Okay, good. So I've set it into my Python file. Let me see if my Node.js is completed. Okay, it's completed. Then let me open up the server.js, as you can see. So this is what I'm seeing right here. Okay, so we have the use API slash users. We have slash this. Okay, good. Let me go straight to my Postman. I have this endpoint already. Let me take it away and see if it is working perfectly. Okay, what is wrong? Let me see what's wrong. Let me go straight to my packet.json. Okay, they're using nodeman. Okay, good. So I'll say nodeman is okay. So to run the server. Okay, good. The server is running already. And let me see if I'm going to get an error because of my database. Yeah. So my database is correct. I shouldn't get any error. So MongoDB connected. I don't know where this MongoDB is done. I think it's inside DBJS. Okay, good. It's good. At least I've connected the MongoDB, so I can cancel this here. So let me go straight here and do this. Okay, it's a GET request, not a post. So I'll do this. All right, so everything is working perfectly now. So let's start. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to register a new user. Let me call this user Samuel. My name is Samuel. I'll call this email is samuel@gmail.com, and this is the password, this right here. So I'm going to click on send. Okay, so good. So as you can see, I've registered myself on this Express JS API, which is perfectly cool, which is very good. But the loophole I'm seeing in this code writing, this special route here, is that there is no rate limiter in this code at all, right? It means that attacker can actually bring down this site by doing a lot of requests, which whereby you should kind of like limit one person doing a lot of requests at the same time. All right, so I'm going to now go back to my Postman to change this register to login like this. So it's on login, and I'll just click on send to login. So you can see I've logged in successfully. Obviously, I'm going to log in successfully, right? But now, let me now do the Python code right here. So I have my brute force of Py, and I'm going to go straight to my document here because I actually have everything written. So what you need to do is that you need to install this pip install requests. So I'm going to do a lot of requesting. So I'll come here. I'll go straight to my Python here. I'll click here. So I'm going to need to do what? Install this. And for some reason, I'm having an error. And there's a Python -d. Let's cancel that keyboard. I'll open another one again. Let me see. I'll cd into Python. And I'll do this request. Okay, let me click on create. I'll choose this one. So I'm going to need to do it again. So it's downloading pip. Let me just wait for a while for it to download. Come on, be fast. Okay. Well, let me see into this Python here. Let me see if it's going to work. Let me wait for a while. So please make sure you have Python installed. is very, very important. All right, so let me copy, let me paste again, let me see. So it's still giving up the same thing. That's the PowerShell. Let me use command prompt. cd into Python, cd into Python. Okay, I think this should work. All right, good. So this is working. Good. All right. So while it's working, I'm going to copy this old code that I have right here. So from this import, I'll copy down here. Good. And I'll come and place it here in this code here. So this is my Python code here to try and break it into this, into this endpoint that I have here, which is this /login. So the attacker can actually write in this kind of Python code. I'm a penetration tester myself. So right now, if I have the email, let's say I have the email called samuel@gmail.com. And here are my list of passwords. I mean, you can have millions of passwords here. Let me just come and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to try and run this code. So look at what happens. If I say Python and I say boot first underscore first.py, look at what happened now. So you can see it's trying to boot force. So it's boot forcing. It keeps doing it. So imagine if this is like 1 million password. It can actually affect your server, your Node.js application server, right? It can actually do what affect it. And let's say for an example, I put in the real password. Take a look at this. Let's say for an example, I guess the real password like this. And let me run this code again. Let's see what happens. So let's see. So you see, success. So if the attacker gets the real password, they're going to have access into the system. See, it gives you the token, it gives you everything, right? So what you need to do is that you need to add in a rate limiter to your Express.js, to your Node.js application. So how do you do that? So I'll go back to my Node.js right here, to this place here. And I already have the code down already. So I'm going to try and install this for you guys. So I'll install this. I'll come here. I'm going to install that. So I'm going to install something called Express Rate Limit. So I'm going to add a rate limiter to my API route, which is this user route right here. So I'm going to add it there. And if I've successfully installed it, let me bring this back up. Yes, so I've done that successfully. I'm going to go back to my code and I'm going to do what? Import it like that. I'll go back here and I'll come straight to my user routes. I'll paste it here. So this rate limiter here is going to stop the boot force from happening. I'm going to give it a time, right? So let me come here again and I'm going to copy what I have down here. I'm going to place it above here. So as you can see, the max is 3 times. So as you can see, I can change it to 5. I was doing 5 on somebody's own before. So as you can see, I can change it to 5. I can change it to 10. But let's leave it at what? 3. It actually means that a single API can actually try and log in like 3 times, right? And they will try again after what? 15 minutes, right? So if I've done this, I'm going to copy this login limiter here. I'm going to place it down here in front of this what? Login middleware. I think this is a middleware. This login middleware down here, right? So right now, if I go back to my boot force again and try and do a boot force again, where's my boot force? Right here. If I do the brute force again, take a look at what happened. It does 1, 2, 3. Then it stops. It just stops there. Even though we know this is the correct password, it stops. So this adds a level of security to your code, right? So when you're building an Express.js or any kind of API, always make sure you add a rate limit to it. Is very, very important because there are attackers out there that can try and just do what? Break into your system. And if they actually get the password, they can actually do what? Gain access into your system. So, just go online, then copy this, just can see as I've done here, I only just went online, then I copied this API Express here, then I made use of it, and I found a loophole. I've seen other loophole in this project here, but let me start with the boot forcing, which is in the login. Also, you can please make sure you add this rate limiter in the register also. So the attacker does not create millions of username and password in your database system. If you like the video, please subscribe. And if you like the video, also please give it a like. It pushes me a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next attack.